In this second video, I'm going to show you how to find out what you need to do in your state to register your business. We're going to go through a couple of different examples, and I'm also going to walk you through the process of how to apply for your EIN. So let's get started. So now let's say that we want to find out what we need to do to register a business in New York. So same as before, rather than typing New York entity search, we would type New York entity registration. And this is what I meant before. So mine's in Spanish, so ignore that. But see, the first couple of pages that come up are sponsored pages, and they belong to businesses that help you register your business. And that's okay. And if you want to use and look into some of those services, that's totally fine. I know, for example, there's a big company called LegalZoom. They help you register your business. So if you find this process overwhelming and you want to find an option like that, that's totally doable. And if you're in Texas and you need help, feel free to reach out. I can help you with that. So for now, let's make sure that we focus on the state pages. So now, here we have this website from New York, form a corporation or business. And so thankfully they make it pretty easy for you. So now if you scroll down here, we'll get to the page where you get to select what type of entity you're choosing and you're wanting to create. We already went through the process of choosing our entity structure, and hopefully, you got advice from a lawyer, or you already know what type of entity you wanted, or you went with the LLC. So let's go in this example, assuming that you're going to be creating an LLC. So in this case, we would do a limited liability company, articles of organization. So if you click on that, New York gives you an overview of what it is, what the process is, and then on top of that, it gives you some other instructions and some other information regarding the process, how to file it, where to file it. So here, if you wanted to do it, they walk you through the process of what you need to do. Here is the form that you would need to prepare. So they make it pretty easy for you to find. And then they also tell you that if you want, you can file it online. And I would say the majority of the states give you this option, which is great, and it expedites the process a lot. You just have to create an account with them and add the information and just go through the process of creating the LLC with them. In this case, New York also tells you what the fees are, because there is going to be a fee. See, they go through the name availability and making sure that it is available, which we already did. So thank you, New York, but we already got that taken care of. And then they tell you what the fees are for registering your entity. Each state's going to vary. It depends. But so see, this is the way that you would find out what you need to do in your state. So as we did before, let's do now California. So California entity registration. Or you can do entity formation as well. Okay, so in this one, thankfully, it didn't take us to a sponsor page. It's taking us directly to the website of the Secretary of State. So if we click on here, okay, so see, this takes you to this business services page, and you can click on here, form a business. And it already takes you to the website where you need to go to register your business. And then depending, I know this can be a little overwhelming, so just take your time to go through it. But in this case, since you're wanting to register an LLC, this is where you would click register a business, corporation, limited liability company, or limited liability partnership. And then once you click on here, you'll have to select what filing you're going to do for your entity, which is going to be this one, the articles of incorporation. And then you can click file online. And same thing, you just create an account and go through the process, and your entity can be registered. It'll take probably a few days, maybe a week or two, depending on the state, but it's a pretty straightforward process. And same as New York, they walk you through the instructions and the name reservations if you want to choose a name and save it for you, what forms you need to file, any tips that they want to give you, the fees and the forms. So they're pretty good with the type of information that they give you, and you can always call your Secretary of State if you have any questions. So now let's do it for Texas. So if we do Texas entity registration, same thing. Thankfully, we avoid the sponsor pages, and it takes us to the Texas Secretary of State's website. Again, every state looks a little different. So in here, they kind of, give you some information, but they give you a whole tutorial on what you need to do to create your account with them and register your business. And then if you have any questions, I know there's a lot of states that have like a frequently asked questions section. And again, they have any like the numbers and the emails where you can contact them if you have any questions. So for example, if you click here on business services, they give you, a little bit of more detailed information about the filing. So you can search what are the business forms you need to file, what are the filing options, the fees that you would need to pay. And so, like I said, each state has it set up a different way, but they all go through the process of what you need to do to register your business. And I would say the majority of them have the option for you to do it online, which is definitely the way to go. So now, once you've registered your business, the next step is applying for your EIN. My suggestion is that you wait until your business is registered with this state to apply for the EIN. That way, you already know for sure everything went good with the name, there were no issues, and your entity is officially registered. And so now you can apply for the EIN. Otherwise, you will have to then, if the name isn't approved and you already applied for the EIN, you will have to change the name with the IRS. And that's a whole nother process that we want to avoid. So just to be safe, register first with your state and then apply for your EIN. So let's go and take a look at what that process looks like.